What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and for today I wanted to share some more gameplay with you guys using Ant-Man and the Wasp in their newest uniform. But before we jump into that, guys, I had some of you requesting for me to share my thoughts on the new event and, more importantly, the new event rewards. Now, personally, guys, I'm not going to spend too much time here because these rewards look very similar to what we've seen for previous events before. So I'm going to tell you guys this. The number one choice right here is actually the Tier 2 advancement ticket if you have any less than 30 Tier 2 characters, because you want to make sure that you get to the point where you can comfortably complete Shadowland, all 30 floors every single week. That way you can start building up as much resources as possible and get yourself to the end game content of Marvel Future Fight as quickly as possible. There's not that much end game in this game. There's a very little amount, but you want to get there as quickly as possible, and I think 30 Tier 2 characters is as much as you need to get there. So I would like to say that the Tier 2 advancement ticket is the number one choice here, and number two, I would say definitely go for that mythic ticket, because we've seen a large influx of premium uniforms in the past few months, and getting from legendary to mythic is actually about 1,200 missions, so that's a lot of time and a lot of grind. So I definitely think the Tier 2 ticket is number one, and then the uniform upgrade ticket is number two. After that, number three, I would definitely say the Norm Stones of Chaos. These things are very rare. They're significantly rarer than the black antimatter. I believe the rate is about 3-to-1, so definitely go for these first, and that'll actually help you guys a lot when it comes to the epic quest and building as many characters as possible. And after the Chaos Norm Stone, I would definitely tell you guys to go ahead and pick up as much black antimatter as possible. The bios, I don't think it's worth it. 100 tokens for 100 bios, I don't think that's worth it. And ideally, unless you have a shit ton of uniforms that you're trying to rush to mythic, you should stay away from the uniform upgrade kit, and you should ideally stay away from the level 5 XP chips, especially since you can buy a ton of XP chips in the freaking Shield Lab now. Like, since the Shield Lab upgrade, I've actually been able to accumulate a good amount of freaking XP chips, as you guys can see, from just simply buying them as soon as the store has them in there and they sell them for gold. So as you guys can see, I have a good amount. Stay away from the bio, in my opinion. Stay away from the energy and stay away from the gold. It's definitely not worth it. Okay, 50 tokens for 300,000 gold, that is an insult. Okay, but that being said, guys, let's jump into the topic of today's video, Ant-Man and the Wasp. And what we're going to be doing for today is actually a DPS comparison between both of these guys on an entry mode, something I've never been able to do with either one of the characters, simply because Ant-Man didn't have the survivability or the damage to complete it. However, Wasp, while she did have the survivability to stay alive for the whole fight, she didn't have the DPS. And now that I'm rocking two premium uniforms, one for each of these guys, I want to show you guys what has changed and what has not. However, before we jump into that, I have something else that I wanted to discuss with you guys. So a few days ago, I made a video on the Wasp speaking about how a third skill interacts with the ISO set system, and how if you use the third skill, it will actually override your ISO set, and this is something that is annoying a lot of people, myself included. However, today, while I was testing it out a little bit more, I noticed something very interesting, and I don't want to call this a stealth nerf. I want to say it's a bug, so let me actually show you guys what is going on now. So some of you guys may think I'm absolutely losing my mind, but take a look at what happens when I use the third skill right here. You'll notice that I actually get the all attack buff as I should, right? Now let's actually jump out of here, guys, and take the Wasp in basically any game mode, and you guys are gonna notice something very, very, very interesting. Now keep in mind, I did a review on the character a few days ago where the buff was actually working inside Shadowland. However, for some reason, as of right now, it's not working, and you guys will see exactly what happens. Okay, let's actually start up this fight and put my guard up. Okay, ISO set is activated, as you guys can see right here, right? Watch this, guys. ISO set is still activated. The buff did not override the ISO set, which is a good thing, right? I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but you got the dodge, and for some reason, you didn't get the 15% from the third skill. Now, keep in mind, nothing is activated. Watch this. Boom. Where is the 15%? Where is my 15% all attack buff? Am I losing my mind? Let's keep going here, and I want you guys to just keep a look at this, okay? Just keep looking at it, because I don't know what's going on now. A few days ago, it was working perfectly fine, and you were getting the all attack buff. Now you're just getting the dodge. So I don't want to say this is the behind the scenes nerf or whatever, but I want you guys to just be aware of what's going on right now. Maybe Netmarble is actually looking into this, and they're trying to figure out a way to let that buff work with the ISO set system, or this may actually be what a lot of people keep saying. Characters come to the game, they get buffed, and the uniforms sell, and then after that, Netmarble just nerfs the characters behind the scenes. I don't know. I don't want to say that's the case, but something is definitely up, because this was not happening yesterday, and it was not happening when the uniform first released, because I have a video showing you guys that the buff was actually activating inside Shadowland, and it was actually activating in basically every game mode. And now it's only actually activating in the scale up preview menu, which you have access to, surprise, surprise, when you don't own the uniform. So it could potentially be very, very misleading. However, with that being said, let's actually take a look at the overall build, and then we'll actually go on the stage right here. And I want you guys to take a look at what happens when I try to actually complete the stage with the Wasp and Ant-Man. That way you guys can decide for yourself which uniform you currently think is better. Okay, guys? So take a look at the build detail for the Wasp. We won't spend too long on it, because I've shown you guys the entire setup and nothing has changed recently. No Urus, skills are all at 6. Currently rocking Overdrive, which in this case is actually good, since the buff is actually not interacting with it at all. It's not even giving me the all attack buff for some reason. Uniform is currently a rare, and I'm not sure how much further I want to bring this thing, since like I said, I'm very salty because her DPS is not very extraordinary. As you guys can see, for Ant-Man, 130 for attack speed, 50% for critical rate, 200% for critical damage, 39% for ignore defense, and 50% for reduced cooldown duration. He doesn't have any Urus just yet. Skills are all at 6. We're rocking Power of Angry Hulk, and he also has invincibility. His uniform, however, is at heroic. However, keep in mind, Wasp is going to be running her own leadership to give her a slight advantage over Ant-Man. So that being said, guys, let's actually jump in and see which of these characters have enough DPS to complete this stage. We're actually going to start with the Wasp, and then we'll go ahead and use Ant-Man. I guess it doesn't even matter if I use the third, does it? All I'm really getting now is dodge and no all attack. Seriously, we really have to get more AoE on the Wasp or something. Yo, Hawkeye's just chilling back here. Look at this guy. This guy's just like posing. Like, what was all that about? Yo, where the hell is Iron Man, bro? This guy's not even coming. Wow. So you guys can see what I'm talking about, right? Basically, nothing has changed for the Wasp, because she couldn't complete this, and she could never complete it with any of her previous uniform or her base kit. So this is why I'm telling you guys that you don't need to buy this uniform for the Wasp. It's a big disappointment for me. However, for Ant-Man, the main thing for him here was always his survivability. He would be dead in about 40 seconds, and he definitely had no chance when it comes to completing this. But let's actually jump in, and let's do this. I started with the 4 because I wanted to keep these guys together. And we got Tony over there hiding in a corner. All right, so we got the first half done at the very least. Didn't even get touched. And I don't think we're gonna get touched here either, because the crowd control actually, what's her name has some ignore dodge natively in her kit, so she could ideally still hit my Ant-Man. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do too much to Ant-Man here. Yeah, Ant-Man just dodged her. Kate Bishop, come get this work. She's just chilling over there, yo. She's just not coming. She's just looking for an opportunity to snipe Ant-Man. Alright guys, so there you have it. It's completely up to you guys which of these uniforms you want to buy, but as you can see, Ant-Man definitely had the survivability and the damage to complete this, whereas for the Wasp, virtually nothing changed. For her, she still can't complete an entry mode, even one that is at floor 15. But that's all I have for this one, guys. Like always, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are on both of these uniforms. And also, let me know what your thoughts are on what's currently happening with the Wasp and why her buff is actually not activating inside Shadowland anymore. Whereas for a couple of days ago, it was actually working and it was overriding the ISO set, which is not a good thing, but at least you were getting the buff. Whereas for right now, it's only activating in the skill preview menu. But that's all for this one, man. Like always, thanks for watching. Peace and love, and I'm gone.